You think you know her, but this.
Symbol of Romans?
A lie. They hated it. And it was built to be destroyed. 1886. France is bruised, defeated in war. They need a win. The government wants a showstopper for the World's Fair.
The tallest building on Earth, 1,000 feet. Impossible.
They called the bridge builder Gustave Eiffel. But here's the twist. Eiffel didn't design it.
And honestly, it looked ugly.
A giant skeletal pylon. Eiffel wasn't interested until an architect added the curves, the arches, the style. Now, Eiffel saw the glory. He bought the patent. It was his tower now. But Paris revolted. The Committee of 300 formed.
A giddy, ridiculous tower dominating Paris like a gigantic black smokestack.
The greatest artists of the time. They all hated it.
This guy, Maupassant, he ate lunch inside the tower every day.
He said, "It's the only place in Paris where I don't have to look at the damn thing."
Eiffel ignored them. But he couldn't ignore the mud. The site was a swamp, right next to the Seine. If the foundation slipped, the tower would kill thousands.
How do you dig a hole in water? You don't. You use air.
Eiffel brought in caissons, giant, airtight metal boxes. They sank them into the mud. Compressed air was pumped in to force the water out. Inside, it was hell. High pressure.
If the air pump failed, drowned in seconds.
But it worked. They reached bedrock. 4 concrete feet. The anchor.
Set. 18,000 pieces made 5 kilometers away.
Eiffel was obsessed with precision. 0.1 millimeter tolerance.
No welding. Rivets. 2.5 million of them.
As this cools, it shrinks. It hugs the iron so tight it becomes one piece.
It was a dance. The heater, the catcher, the holder, the hammerer.
The legs started to rise. But they were weird.
They leaned at 54 degrees. Gravity wanted to pull them down. Huge wooden forests were built just to hold them up.
If the angles are off, the bolt holes won't line up.
They got there. And they were slightly off. Engineers panicked. Eiffel didn't.
He had a cheat code hidden in the shoe.
Hydraulic jacks. He could lift 4,000 tons with a hand pump.
He tilted the massive legs. Just a tiny bit.
The first floor was safe. But now, the safety net was gone. As they climbed, the wind picked up. The air got thinner.
Imagine this.
12 hours a day. No harnesses.
The press called them the Suicide Club. Everyone expected bodies to rain down.
September 1888. The workers had enough. They went on strike.
Money for the risk. Eiffel was smart. He offered a gradual raise.
Offered a gradual raise. The higher you work, the more you earn. The strike ended in 3 days. They went back to the clouds.
In 2 years of construction, how many died? Hundreds?
He snuck in on a Sunday to impress his girlfriend. He lost his balance. A tragedy, but not an accident.
They reached the 2nd level. But now, Eiffel faced a new nightmare.
Curved. How do you put an elevator in a curved tube?
Elevators go straight up. If they curve, the pistons break.
The French companies said it was impossible. They quit.
Eiffel had to call the Americans. Otis. Otis designed a car that acted like a funicular railway. It changed angles as it rose. Every step was documented. It was a mechanical masterpiece. But it was late. The clock was ticking. The World's Fair was months away.
The winter of 1888 was brutal.
At 200 meters, the wind isn't a breeze, it's a punch in the face.
Still, they hammered. 600 rivets a day.
March 1889. The final pieces. The Campanile.
March 31, 1889. The elevators weren't ready yet.
The noise stopped. The dust settled.
So Eiffel made the politicians walk. All 1,710 steps.
Most of them gave up at the first platform. But Eiffel, he was 56. He didn't stop.
He reached the summit. He unfurled a massive French flag. It was done. The tallest building in human history.
The fair opened. And the haters?
They went silent because the world fell in love.
2 million visitors in 6 months.
The ticket sales were so high, Eiffel paid off the construction costs in 1 year.
He was rich, famous, and he had a private apartment at the very top.
No public allowed, just Eiffel and his guests, like Thomas Edison. At night, gas lamps made it glow like gold. It was a triumph of science. But remember the contract? Eiffel only had a permit for 20 years. Tick-tock. 1909 was coming. The deal was clear. In 1909, the Iron Lady was scheduled for execution. She was going to be sold for scrap metal.
Eiffel was terrified. He couldn't let his masterpiece die.
He needed a reason to save her. A scientific reason.
He turned the tower into a giant laboratory. Gravity experiments weren't enough. He needed something invisible. Radio.
And just in time. World War was coming.
1909. The lease is up. The wrecking ball is ready.
Radio.
The military needed high ground to send signals.
The tower was the perfect antenna. It could talk to ships in the Atlantic.
Don't touch it. It's strategic now.
1914. War explodes. The Iron Lady puts on a uniform.
The tower became a spy station. They intercepted German codes.
One intercepted message changed history. The German army is halting. It allowed the French to launch a surprise attack, the taxis of the Marne. Paris was saved. They even caught the famous spy, Mata Hari, because of the tower's radio. After the war, the tower needed money. So it became the world's biggest billboard. 250,000 light bulbs. It was so bright, Charles Lindbergh used it to find Paris. But the craziest story isn't about lights. It's about the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. Victor Lustig, the smoothest con artist in history. 1925. He invited scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting.
The government is broke. We are selling the tower for scrap.
Lustig took the cash, a fortune, and fled to Vienna.
The buyer was so embarrassed he never went to the police. So Lustig tried to sell it again.
But the laughter stopped in 1940. The Nazis were coming. France fell. Hitler arrived in Paris.
Wanted a photo at the top. The ultimate conqueror's trophy. But the French workers had a surprise snip. They cut the elevator cables. They said, sorry, no spare parts because of the war.
As the locals said, Hitler conquered France, but not the tower. It was so big, the wind blew it away hours later.
1944. The Allies are close. Hitler is furious.
He gives the order to General Dietrich von Choltitz.
Is Paris burning? Burn it all! The tower too!
Explosives were placed on the bridges, on the monuments, on the tower.
It's too late. They're breaching the perimeter.
One push. That's all it would take. The end of the Iron Lady.
But von Choltitz hesitated. He looked at the beauty of Paris. He disobeyed the order. He couldn't go down in history as the man who murdered history.
August 25, 1944. Liberation! French firemen climb the stairs under fire. They tore down the Nazi sign. The tricolor flew again.
She survived the haters, the lease, the con artists, and the Nazis.
Peace returned. The tower became a global celebrity. Everyone came. Edith Piaf sang from it. Bond chased a villain on it. But celebrity requires makeup. Lots of it.
The enemy. Every 7 years, she gets a full paint job.
No spray guns. Brushes only. To protect the rivets.
And it's not one color. It's darker at the bottom, lighter at the top. It's an optical illusion to make it look uniform against the sky.
She survived the 20th century. Now, she had to welcome the new millennium. New Year's Eve, 1999. The world watched Paris.
Light show, she's a dancer. Hit that subscribe button. We are climbing higher next time.